I guess in the interest of time, just to keep with the schedule, I think we will start now. I'm sure more people will join us. I guess first of all, thank you very much everyone for joining this webinar for the ASEAN-U.S. Science Prize for Women 2020. Today is 6th of August 2020. My name is Bambang Irawan and I'm the Deputy Chief of Party of the ASEAN-U.S. Inclusive Growth in ASEAN through Innovation, Trade and E-Commerce, or we just simply call it IGNITE. I will be the moderator for this event for the next 2 hours. Before we start, may I kindly seek your support by muting your microphone during the speeches and the presentations? That'd be really helpful. First, let me begin by introducing you to today's event. So for those who don't know yet, the ASEAN-U.S. Science Prize for Women is an annual competition that was launched in 2014. Every year, it has a different topic, and it invites women scientists from all 10 ASEAN member states to participate in the competition by sharing their achievements in terms of research in their respective disciplines or areas of expertise and their influence towards other younger female scientists or students. So this is very important for us because we want to promote greater role of women. Gender mainstreaming is one of our main objectives. This initiative, the Science Prize for Women, has been supported by the United States Agency for International Development, or USAID, and Underwriters Laboratories. And we IGNITE, we have been tasked to manage it since 2019. The topic for this year is preventive healthcare, which is somewhat relevant to the pandemic that we are all experiencing this year. Of course, when that topic was decided last year, we did not foresee the pandemic, and I don't think anyone did for that matter, but it just seems coincidentally fit for our situation. Every year, the Science Prize selects 10 national finalists for each member state, and then 2 regional finalists go to the final round to select the regional winner for that year. This webinar today actually aims at introducing the 2 regional finalists for 2020, Dr. Yoke Fun from University Malaya and Dr. Shefaly Shorey from National University of Singapore. They will share their research and how they have encouraged other females to pursue a career in their respective areas of expertise. So that's a little quick information about the Science Prize and the webinar. Now, before we listen to their presentations, let us hear several remarks from those who have been supporting the Science Prize. The first remark is from the ASEAN Secretariat, who has been very instrumental in coordinating our communication and cooperation with the 10 member states of ASEAN. May I invite Dr. Michelle Yen Cheng Chu, Assistant Director of the Science and Technology Division, ASEAN Secretariat, to deliver her opening remarks. Ibu Michelle, please.
Yep. Right. Thank you, Dr. Bambang. So a very welcome to everyone. And welcome to the ASEAN-U.S. Science Prize for Women. I think this is the first of our series of webinars. But before that, I think I would like to say a very big thank you for IGNITE for pulling this together and coming up with this brilliant plan to profile our 2 regional finalists. So basically, like what Dr. Bambang has said, this is an initiative between the Underwriters Laboratories for their great support, the USAID, US IGNITE, as well as the ASEAN Committee on Science, Technology, and Innovation. So basically, this prize was put together because all of us felt that there was a need to encourage women to take on a career or research in the STEM areas. And we hope that we will continue with this initiative far into the future. And it's also very encouraging to see many who have signed up. And so for those who will qualify for the prize, we also look forward to applications for next year. All right, thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Michelle. Yeah, we've been working very closely with the ASEAN Secretariat, and we could look forward to continuing this collaboration. Next, I would like to invite the U.S. Agency for International Development, USAID, who has been providing guidance on the U.S. support to us on this initiative. Ms. Desrini Fatimah, or Desi, is the Project Management Specialist from the U.S. ASEAN Office, U.S. Mission to ASEAN. Ibu Desi, please.
Thank you, Dr. Bang. COSTI representatives, Ms. Michelle Chu of STI Division ASEAN Secretariat, Ms. Deepa Shankar and Ms. Sarah Woon from Underwriters Laboratories, Dr. Yoke Fun Chan, the Regional Finalist of the Science Prize 2020 from Malaysia, Dr. Shefaly, the Regional Finalist of Science Prize 2020 from Singapore, distinguished scientists, researchers, ladies and gentlemen. A pleasant good morning to you all. I would like first of all to extend my warm welcome to everyone attending today's webinar. I am particularly pleased to be among a group of scientists, researchers, technologists, innovators, and entrepreneurs in this webinar on the ASEAN-U.S. Science Prize for Women 2020. The United States is proud to co-sponsor the Science Prize, which aims to recognize contributions of the ASEAN women scientists and researchers in the development of ASEAN community. Supporting gender equality and thus women's participations in the science is a high priority in the policy agenda of the United States. This webinar aims to promote the profiles and work of the 2 regional finalists of the Science Prize 2020. They will highlight their research and experience of preventive health cares and the impacts of their research on their communities, countries, and the region. I believe that by participating in this webinar, we will learn much from their insights and the subsequent discussion. I'm looking forward to it. In closing, I would like to express my deep appreciation to the many partners who have invested so much to make this event a reality. Among these partners are the ASEAN Committee of Science, Technology and Innovation, or COSTI, the ASEAN Secretariat, and of course, Underwriters Laboratories, which has been sponsoring the prize for ASEAN-U.S. Science Prize for Women since 2014. I wish you all an exciting and fruitful webinar. Thank you very much. Back to you, Pak Bambang.
Thank you very much, Bu Desi. Next in our agenda is a short presentation by Underwriters Laboratories, a US private sector firm who has been greatly supporting our Science Prize initiative. They are the ones who provide the prize money for the winners and the honorable mentions. I would like to invite Ms. Sarah Owen and Ms. Deepa Shankar to deliver the presentation. Sarah and Deepa, the stage is yours.
Sorry, I just had to unmute myself. Good morning to all of you. Thank you all so much for joining us today and having us. First of all, a big thank you to Ignite and the organizers for having us. I'm Deepa Shankar, Education Partnership Manager with Underwriters Laboratories. And I'm joined here by my colleague, Sarah Owen, who is a Principal Advisor for Government Affairs. And we are truly eager to meet our 2020 ASEAN Women in Science Prize finalists and hear about their research and work today. So before we do that, we wanted to give you just a little bit of background about Underwriters Laboratories and who we are as an organization. So Underwriters Laboratories, or UL, is a global safety science organization based out of United States and has been in existence for over 126 years. UL has its world headquarters in Chicago, but its international headquarters is located in Singapore. Now, many of you may not know that UL is comprised of 2 parts. One is the for-profit UL, which is an independent testing, inspections, audits, and certifications company. We also provide advisory services, and we are located globally with over 15,000 employees. And as I had mentioned earlier, our headquarters, international headquarters, is in Singapore. Now, the other part of UL is the smaller not-for-profit UL, which is only about 150 employees. And the not-for-profit UL is dedicated in developing standards. We conduct rigorous independent research. We analyze safety data. We convene safety experts worldwide to address risks in order to guide safe and sustainable commercialization of evolving technologies. So the communications and education team of UL is fueled by world-class researchers at Underwriters Laboratories. Through innovative learning and research techniques, the team takes a highly technical scientific understandings and creates current and relevant content. Then through partnerships, we take our educational resources into the community. Now, we truly believe that no one organization can do it all. So by building partnerships, networks across geographies, we amplify our impact and inspire behavioral change. As an organization, we strongly believe in promoting global safety through collaborative research and data sharing, which is one of the reasons why we strongly believe and support in the ASEAN Women in Science Prize. And to talk a little bit more about that Women in Science Prize, I will pass this on to Sarah Owen, my colleague, who will tell you a little bit more about UL's involvement with this prize. Over to you, Sarah.
Thank you. And I just need, I lost my slides here for just 1 second. All right, so thank you to Deepa for that introduction and to all of the organizers. Again, I want to echo what an honor it is for UL to be the private sector partner with our the USAID and the ASEAN Secretariat, the work that IGNITE does, and certainly the Committee on Science, Technology, and Innovation. And as you can see, it's been quite an honor to support this since its inception in 2014 when we were approached to gauge our involvement. And over the years, we've really had a number of fantastic awardees, and certainly it's been a great honor to be able to evaluate candidates in all sorts of areas over the last several years. So it's, you know, everything from water quality and energy to agriculture to last year awarding achievements in circular economy. And I think it was mentioned earlier in the call, it's very fitting that this year we're talking about preventive healthcare. So very excited to hear the presentations from our finalists tonight and to learn more about the work that they're doing for the betterment of their communities, their regions, and global citizens around the world. So why does Underwriters Laboratories support this prize? And it basically boils down to 3 different things. And, you know, as Deepa talked about, you know, we're really a mission-oriented organization, and we really are looking at how can science drive a safer, more secure, more sustainable world. How do we build off of those principles to do what's best for people and for their well-being? And so that commitment to science, that education, that global engagement, that's all part of this prize, and certainly that aligns with our mission and is very easy for us to support. I'll also talk a little bit about, you know, it's an opportunity for us to expand our network. It's, you know, like I said, being access to world-class scientists is something that really drives us, it sustains us. We love partnering with universities around the world in research. A number of our lead scientists certainly have engaged in collaborative relationships. And so getting to hear what's going on and being exposed to the quality of research that's being done is really, really inspiring for us. And like I said, it does inspire us. And I just want to sort of end with just throwing up some quotes. So, you know, Deepa and I are here representing our organization today. But you know what? We have a lot of our employees that help get involved in the judging processes along the way. And they really have a lot of fun with this. They think it's amazing, the work that they're getting to review. They're proud of our company for being involved in this. And they are certainly, I think, excited to read about these different research projects and the findings and the work that's being done around the world. And we are glad to support this. We are looking forward to continuing our support of this and evolving it, and really, really excited that we're doing this webinar tonight and getting a chance to get to know our finalists this year. So thank you so much for having us, and we look forward to the rest of the evening.
Thank you, Sarah and Deepa. That's that's very inspiring. I hope by now everyone here is familiar with Underwriters Laboratories and what they do and what they wish to achieve. I think you may contact them directly for possible collaboration with your organization. I take it that Sarah and Deepa, anyone here can contact you for that possibility, right? So, okay, thank you. Just to inform you, this webinar is being recorded, and you can view it in our YouTube channel. So this is to ensure that those who are not able to join us today can also learn from our discussion today. Okay, great. Now, before we listen to the presentations by this year's two regional finalists, we would like to take a group photo. My colleague from Ignite, Ms. Deborah Tomasowa, who is our communication specialist, will guide us on this. So Debbie, please walk us through this process.
Okay, hello everyone. My name is Debbie Tomasowa, and I am a colleague of Mas Bambang. Thank you, first of all, for that introduction. I'm a colleague of his at the Ignite project. So we have been requested to take a group photo. So before we continue with the scheduled agenda for today, may I ask for all of you to please turn on your camera or video and keep it on for the next minute or two or so. So we can take a screenshot of all of us together. So you can, I will cue you.
Just one thing, remember, if you would prefer not to be included in this, and particularly if you do not want to have this to be in a photo which may be used on a USAID website to promote, to report on this event, then don't turn on your camera. Yes. But if you do turn on your camera, you're implied consent.
So I take it by turning on your camera, you're consenting. All right, so, okay, if you will hold that pose, please, for the next few seconds. 1, 2, 3. Okay, I'll take another one. 1, 2, 3. Okay, I take another one. 1, 2, 3. All right, okay, I think I got everyone. Thank you so much, and back to Mas Bambang. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Debbie. Much appreciated. Okay, great. Now, we have now come to the main agenda of this webinar. So first, I would like to invite Dr. Dr Yoke Fun, who is currently an associate professor and the head of Department of Medical Microbiology, Faculty of Medicine of University Malaya, to deliver her presentation. Dr. Chan, the stage is yours for the next 20 minutes. I think you're still muted.
Yep. Okay. Can everyone hear me and see my slides?
Yes, we can hear you well. Thank you.
Yes, we can.
Thank you. I'm sharing my slide. Okay. All right. Okay. Thank you. First of all, I'd like to thank the organizers for having me here. And of course, also thank you everyone for attending this webinar. And it's my pleasure to, and also honor to actually to be listed as the regional finalist for this ASEAN-U.S. Science Prize for this year. And I represent Malaysia. And in case if some of you do not know, we were actually, during the lockdown, we actually have to make a video. And if you have the time, please visit this particular link here. It was actually a hard work a very amateur hard work collaboration with my daughter, who is 13 years old. So do enjoy the video. So a little bit about myself. And as mentioned by Dr. Bang Bang, I'm actually currently an associate professor. I currently head the Department of Medical Microbiology in Faculty of Medicine, University Malaysia. So this department, medical microbiology, we are well known due to our discovery of Nipah virus 20 years ago. It causes a lot of culling of pigs, as well as also death of pig farmers. So fast forward, our strengths are actually in emerging infectious diseases. So as you can see on your right panel here, let me just get my pointer, right? So I graduated from my PhD is on the field of virology, and in the last 14 years, I have actually developed my research expertise in various emerging infectious diseases. And as you could see here, I work on hand, foot, and mouth disease, chikungunya, Zika virus, influenza, and more recently, of course, COVID-19 as well. And the area that mainly my research are actually epidemiology, diagnosis, prevention, as well as treatment. So in the last 14 years of my career, I'm very grateful that I actually received many different awards, and of course, notably is the recent finalist, the ASEAN-U.S. Science Prize. I was also awarded Top Researcher Scientist Malaysia by Academic Sciences Malaysia. I was given ASEAN Women Entrepreneur Leadership Award in last year. And I received L'Oreal UNESCO Internationalizing Talent, also Young Women Leaders under the Science category from the Queen of Malaysia, and also, of course, the L'Oreal UNESCO Women in Science Malaysia in 2014. And today I'm going to focus on my part of my research, which is hand, foot, and mouth disease, which I did a lot of work on preventive healthcare. So this is just to walk you through briefly. I will cover a little bit overview what we have done for, my team has done for vaccine, for antiviral works, a little bit on community work, how we try to encourage kindergartens with more education, and my work on epidemiology, on how we use virus genomics, epidemiology to understand epidemics and pandemics like COVID-19. So a little bit about hand, foot, and mouth disease. So we always wish our kids are always happy. Unfortunately, diseases are everywhere. Just see COVID-19 right now. So communicable diseases is actually definitely the leading cause of mortality and morbidity in ASEAN. So hand, foot, and mouth disease is known to be, in Malaysia, the second most common infectious diseases. And we know very well that in ASEAN, we have over 600 million population, and 30% are actually children. So whether you can actually see here, hand, foot, and mouth disease is usually caused by a group of viruses called enteroviruses, and usually get blisters in the hands, in the feet, as well as at the mouth. So that's where it comes hand, foot, and mouth disease. However, among all these enteroviruses, there's an enterovirus 71, or in short EV71, which can potentially be more fatal than other enteroviruses. So that's EV71, and we have actually seen in the last 20 years in ASEAN, typically, we've seen outbreaks of fatality in Malaysia, in Singapore, in Vietnam, Cambodia, and so on, and China as well. So what causes this to happen? Is it the virus that is more virulent? So we aim that in my research, as you can actually see here, the first aim is we know that enterovirus 71 is actually more virulent and causes more severe infection. Therefore, our target for vaccine development is actually enterovirus 71. So in my laboratory, we have actually different approaches to make vaccine candidates. And one of them is actually using codon T optimization. So in this approach, what we do is we actually change the codon composition and without actually changing that its immune response. So it will reduce the lethality, the virulence of the virus, but not the immune response. The other approach that we have in our laboratory is actually to put different virus epitopes together to make a multivalent enterovirus vaccine. So that we hope that we will actually be able to target many different HFMD viruses. So some of these candidates has been tested in animals and we find good immune response. So with that, we hope that we will be able to develop these vaccines further. So another part of my preventive healthcare work includes also development of antivirus. So my team has actually filed 2 patents for development of drugs for HFMD. So that includes antiviral peptides and morpholinos, which is a synthetic RNA. So during my study as well, so I also received, while I was working with autophagy and its protein target, that was actually the project that I received my UNESCO. The other recent work which is related to antiviral is our group actually has discovered the heparin sulfate receptor, which actually binds to EV71. And that will actually lay a very strong foundation on future development of antiviral, because usually an entry receptor is always the target for development of antiviral. So next, I move on to a bit of ongoing work that I actually partner with childhood education specialists. So we know very well now, communicable disease like HFMD, like COVID-19 are actually highly preventable. So how do we prevent it? Good hand hygiene, good virus tracing tools, and so on. So my team actually set up experiments to understand how easily our materials in the kindergarten can be contaminated. For example, you know, the doorknobs, the metals, the papers, and so on. And we tried to understand how to effectively use disinfectants to actually reduce the contamination. So as mentioned, I work with experts from childhood education to also develop educational modules to educate and to create awareness of HFMD in children. And the other part of my preventive healthcare work is actually mainly epidemiology. So epidemiology research is basically research that will help us to understand evolution, tracking of viruses, tracking of risk of disease, tracking of ongoing outbreaks. So in the last 10 years, our work has contributed a lot to understanding transmission of EV71 in Asia. Our work has also helped in understanding evolution of enteroviruses, and we have previously documented that EV71 outbreaks in Malaysia occurs in a very 2 to 4 year cyclical patterns, and with that, it can help us to actually manage outbreaks. And I'm also part of this particular consortium. It's called Asia Pacific Network of Enterovirus Surveillance. That was initiated by Taiwan. And this consortium is actually formed together with Malaysia, Vietnam, Cambodia, and Thailand, of which we are all affected by enteroviruses. So with this consortium, we hope that we actually understand enterovirus 71 circulation or other enteroviruses circulation, and with that we can further in future inform vaccine policy in this region. So a bit about how much my work has been to the academic as well as to the community. So let me guide you through this particular, I just summarize over here my collaborations. And so this maps, of course, is a world map, and I'm honored and to have previous collaborations of publishing papers with different groups from US, Europe, as well as in Asia. So currently, we also have active collaborations with University of Tartu, Duke and US, Taiwan, Chiang Kung Universities, and Rockefeller University. And I'm extremely proud also that we also share our research materials with some of these collaborators. I'm very grateful that some of my grants are actually from our government, Ministry of Education, Science, Technology and Innovation as well. And of course, I have also received fellowship from UK as well as Defense Threat Reduction Agency, US. And I also did some work with the industry, for example, testing the glove, testing their diagnostics and so on. So over here, it's just to highlight that some of my publications, which I'm really proud of, like I got a New England Journal of Medicine plus pathogen recently, emerging infectious disease engine. So these are considered reputable journals in my area. And to date, I have over 2,000 citations, and this actually means that, you know, my work is regarded in the field, and it's actually well noted. So other things that I work on, for example, other than HFMD, I also contributed to other emerging infectious diseases like chikungunya, Zika, and COVID. And of course, as mentioned, in different areas, epidemiology, diagnostic, prevention, and treatment. So the next slide here also showed you a bit of a snapshot what I have done in my career at the moment. So I also contribute my time to give back to the scientific community, and you know, reviewing grants for different association, Welcome Fellowship, TP from Indonesia, Jasan is from Saudi, and I also did for health and medical burial from Hong Kong, and of course some of the local grants that in the university that we have to review every other month. So I'm currently the associate editors of BMC Infectious Diseases as well as PLOS NTD. So with that, what is important to know is these jobs are usually voluntary, and you need to contribute your time and energy for that. And why do I do this? Because I think it is important to put a better ASEAN representation in all these international journals and international grants. So in STEMs and community, I'm actually alumni of Global Young Academy and also Young Scientist Network of Malaysia. So with these two dynamic young scientist group, we communicate our science, we communicate science integrity, science leadership, and so on, and form policy. And in the community, I have given talks in kindergarten. I have engaged with industries such as Nippon to actually talk about HFMD and so on. And of course, I do help out. Recently, we have actually in one of our work, we have set up a group, a page all about HFMD, which we will actually make it as a primary source of HFMD hand hygiene information. And of course, I'm very grateful to all these prizes that is given that also increase visibility of women in science, and of course get to appear to actually encourage other scientists when you actually being noted in magazines and also having a YouTube and so on. So a bit about what my passion as well about educating the next generation. So these are just some numbers. Okay, so I currently had 4 postdocs, 5 PhDs in the past, and we have graduated 15 MSc. I have actually always provide opportunities for attachment in my laboratory, because I think you know, as an intern, that is time that you discover science. And of course, you know, being a role model, being supportive, inspire, motivate, leads, and empower them. I think as a scientist myself, when I begin to search what is the best for my career, I also had my role model as well. So I hope that with that, I could also give other people opportunity. So I have been actively involved in this Global Young Academy and Young Scientist Network, which we actually, you know, help out in writing in Science Media Malaysia, where we actually, for example, what we have done recently during the COVID-19 is to give the right truth information for, you know, different things such as what is the correct antiviral, what is the way to clean your grocery, and so on. So you can have a look at Science Media Malaysia, which a lot of young scientists are actively involved. So I strongly believe in, of course, advocating good science through joining all this academy. And this slide actually just want to show you fast forward, going back 5 years ago, in Sorbonne, Paris, when actually I received my L'Oreal Rising Talent Award. The Director General of UNESCO, Irina Bokova, said this: "We are here to celebrate exceptional scientists who happens to be women." So this stays with me for the last 5 years, and truly, I always want to portray myself as exceptional scientist, as what she has highlighted. And looking back, I'm very glad that I have been featured in different magazines. I have been, you know, in newspapers, in articles as well. So to me, it is important that, you know, we highlight that the world actually needs science, and science needs women. So in the next couple of minutes, I will just tell you what I plan for my future. So as what this year's theme, preventive healthcare. So we know very well in infectious diseases, prevention is always better than cure. So in my next couple of years journey in together with my team, we actually hope to achieve these 4 goals. We hope to actually use more innovative diagnostics to actually you know, can diagnose infectious diseases quicker and faster. I'm actually working with a group of computer scientists and disease modelers from Imperial. We are trying to actually predict HFMD with weather data, with age data, with geospatial data, and so on. And I'm also working to develop a biosensor that we hope that we can actually use it to track the virus actually right at the kindergarten, so that will help us to inform, you know, to close the kindergarten, or actually to actually send, you know, if someone has Anthrax 71, and that person should actually get immediate medical care. So as I also mentioned, I work with child education specialists in the Faculty of Education to actually develop education modules for prevention of infectious diseases, especially HFMD. So with this, I will just want to highlight again, lastly, my presentation with this quote that I mentioned 5 years ago in my video in L'Oreal UNESCO Malaysia Fellowship. I hope I can play this. Let me try. So let me reiterate again. We are wonderfully multitasker. We are world-class scientists, lovely wife, and a wonderful mom all at once. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Dr. Chan, for a very inspiring presentation. Really, really enjoy it.
Thank you.
Okay. Next, we will hear from another distinguished scientist in our region, Dr. Shefaly Shorey. She's now an assistant professor at the Alice Lee Center for Nursing Studies of the National University of Singapore. Dr. Shorey, the stage is yours for the next 20 minutes.
Thank you, Dr. Bambang. Can you hear me?
Very well, thank you.
Excellent. So I'll share my slides and just guide me if you can see and all right, can I just confirm one more time? Can you hear me and can see my slides?
Yes, we can hear you very clearly and we can see your slides too.
Excellent. Once again, good morning, everyone. Very heartening to see so many beautiful faces on Thursday morning. Before I start, I would like to extend my heartfelt thanks to ASEAN-U.S. Science Prize Committee for giving me this honor and opportunity to present in front of everyone. Before I start, I'm also very glad to hear from the presenting speaker and the organizers who are supporting this seminar. It's very beautiful to see how many like-minded people are coming together to support women in ASEAN and beyond. And probably many of us didn't really think, I'm sure ASEAN-U.S. Science Committee didn't think that, well, when they were planning this seminar, probably that we will be seeing each other via this way. But I think let's try to remain positive during this COVID pandemic. It has taught us many new normals, and one of it is how we can stay connected via technology. I'm sure we used to do that, but never like this before. So on that positive note, let me now bring you through my presentation. So let's see. Right. So I'll be sharing with you my slides, which will take place in 3 parts. Okay, in the first part, I will be sharing with you a background about myself, who I am, what I do, and what are my academic qualifications. And second part of my presentation will share with you what I do, and especially my research on preventive healthcare, and especially my research on preventive health. And then the last part of my research and the part of my presentation will be sharing with you on how my research have affected my academic faculty and also the public per se. And I will be ending my presentation with my future plans. So for also to manage your expectations, on the right side of my screen, you will see some pictures moving. These are for those visual learners who would like to see my journey through these pictures. So I'm an academic at Alice Lee Center for Nursing Studies, which is under Yong Loo School of Medicine and US. As an academic, I teach, educate nurses, future nurses, and medicine students. And I also do a fair bit of research, and both primary as well as, I think my slides are not, yeah, right. I do a fair bit of research, which is both the medicine, I think something is right, primary and secondary research. So, okay, just bear with me. I think my slides are not moving the way. Can I ask you which slide are you seeing now? Okay, just give me a minute. I think I am. Right. Yeah. Yeah, so sorry about that technical hiccups. Are we okay? Dr. Bambang, are we okay?
Yes, Yes,
All right.
yes, we can see it. Yes.
Okay, so moving on, this is a little bit about my background. So yes, I'm an academic at Alice Lee Center for Nursing Studies and under School of Medicine. I educate nurses and medicine students, and I do research on both primary and secondary research. And these are my academic qualifications. I started my nursing journey a decade ago from Nanyang Polytechnic, and for that I received Ministry of Health Gold Medal. And I received Bachelor of Nursing from Curtin University with distinction, and I did my specialization in midwifery from with the KKH Top Student Award. And I then decided that I am interested in pursuing education, and I did my postgraduate diploma in higher education from National Institution of Education, and I received a Top Student Award, and I was a valedictorian for that postgraduate diploma. And I finished my master's and PhD from National University of Singapore. And for that, I received a President Graduate Fellowship. I'm the only student thus far from Alice Lee Center from Nursing Studies, who has received this President Graduate Fellowship. I'm sorry, I'm trying to figure out with my slides here. So, and so far this record has been maintained. And I also feel I'm honored that I am able to serve my alma mater, as I did my PhD from Alice Lee, and now I'm back to serve there as an academic. So a little bit about my research, what I've been doing in the past 5 years. Just to let you know, I have actually completed my PhD in 2013, and I have joined Alice Lee as an academic in 2015. So I have been 5 years active as an academic in research. And I active in research. I have conducted both and developed both psychosocial and educational interventions for women and child health. I have been actively engaged in conducting both quantitative and qualitative research. That means I have been conducting both randomized control trial and cross-sectional studies, as well as qualitative studies, which engage, for example, phenomenology, grounded theories, as well as descriptive qualitative. And I'm fortunate to establish national and international collaborations, and some of my collaborators are from US and from Canada, a lot of from Europe, and as well as from the ASEAN region. And in the record time of 5 years, I strongly believe in disseminating my study findings, and I've published 85 papers in, as for 28th of June, when I submitted these slides for this competition, I have published 85 papers in peer-reviewed international journals, and 10 other papers are now under online publication, and they've been accepted for publications. And I have also published 2 educational manuals, 3 book chapters, and 1 educational booklet in this short period of 5 years. And I've secured more than $2 million worth competitive research grants, and my grantors are both from international and national research funding bodies. And I've received various awards for my research and academic excellence, which I'll be sharing with you in my preceding slides. So this was a little bit about a background about what I have done in the past few years. From this slide onward, I'll be sharing with you specifically how my research is focusing on preventive healthcare, which is very much in line with this year's research theme. I have been working on promoting women's health, especially women after giving birth, as well as children's health. And I've been enhancing maternal health and well-being. And my specific focus have been remain on preventing perinatal depression. I know it's a bit of a technical term. Just to let you know, peri means across and natal is birth. So perinatal means right from pregnancy, during birth, and after birth. And in Asian context, mental health, depression is a taboo topic. And it has been taking me a lot of time to actually engage people, public, to actually come out and talk about depression, talk about their mental health. Because not only research in Asian context, in fact, my local research among multiracial Singapore population, as well as global research has shown that not only mothers who are clinically depressed, but mothers who are at risk of getting depression, they show the same symptoms. That means their engagement with their babies are equally affected. You don't have to be clinically depressed to be less engaged with their babies. So it is very alarming, and it's very important that we need to support women who are at risk of getting depression, so that we can give good start to their babies, and also we can give a better support to their family. So what I've done over the past years to support and prevent perinatal depression is I have developed and evaluate psychosocial interventions. And as parents are tech savvy, I have used technology like mobile health apps. I have developed specifically mobile health applications to tackle and reach parents to support their needs. And I have involved family members and especially peers. We are very fortunate in Asia that we have extended families, and we, especially during the month confinement rituals, we have family members staying with us. But research has also shown that if the support provided by the family members are not something the parents need, it can actually cause a lot more harmful effect for the new mothers. And that's why engaging family members and guiding them, it is very important. So I've engaged family members as well as lay peer volunteers, which means a lay mother who themselves have gone through depressive symptoms, but they have come out of it. So these mothers are there as a supportive people to listen to their mothers and being their buddies. So these mothers have been supporting these mothers over the years. So these are some of the supportive apps which I have developed over the years. In Singapore, we are known for using acronyms, those who know us Singaporeans. So many of these the educational programs and the apps I have developed have been used as a standard care in the hospitals. These are called like PPP and HBNA and all that. I have purposely changed one color, which is Supportive Parenting App. It's also known as PA. This app is currently being now tested among multi-centers in Singapore and all the restructured public hospitals in Singapore. We are testing these apps. And if you can look at the pictures on the site, these are some of the funders who have funded my projects. For example, Ministry of Health, Ministry of Social and Family Health. And these apps and those we have developed have been well utilized by the parents. We have all the stats available, how much parents are being benefited from these apps. And if you can see my findings, like I mentioned earlier, I strongly believe in sharing my findings with the public and as well as with my research colleagues. And these are all published papers, but in a very simple way, if I share with you that my findings, research findings have shown that the educational programs I have developed for the parents, it have worked very well for them. It has enhanced their confidence level in a way, self-efficacy, enhanced their help-seeking behavior, reduced their depression, and most importantly, they've been well accepted by new parents and the peer volunteers. I just want to share with you vividly one example. It is so beautiful as a researcher when you hear from a hospital. I had a group of parents who received my research intervention, and they actually wrote to the hospital that we were part of this research program. Can you make that research program as a standard care? So I think that is something as a researcher when we believe in translation of research, and these are some of the ways I think we can reach to the public. And like I said, I've published these papers in high impact factor journals and have presented in national and international conferences. And I've been constantly featured in national and international media. I've many times, I'm a regular in radio channels where I share and answer parenting questions and needs. So in this part of my presentation, I'll be sharing with you how my research has actually influenced the research fraternity, how it has influenced the public, and how, as a researcher, I am influencing the budding researchers. So starting with, for the research fraternity, I personally feel that it's very important we share with our fellow researchers what we are doing so that we can inspire each other. We learn from each other's, pitfalls and also from some things which work, right? And I have done all the publications, whatever I have been doing my work on. And most importantly, I like to publish protocols and also reflective papers where I can share with people in my protocols the reflective papers that what were the some things which didn't work, especially with the process evaluation papers after my interventions. And I have received Outstanding Women in Medical Science for the HBNA, the Home But Not Alone, the app I have developed for the parents. I was the only woman from a medical science category out of 40 participants who was awarded this prestigious award. I was also given Bloomberg Emerging Nurse Scholar Award by University of Toronto. I was the only participant and awardee from Asia region, and there were 400 participants, and I received that award because I finished my PhD in the record time of 2.5 years. I've published all my papers, and for the educational program that I've developed from my research, it has been now evaluated in Canada. And I also have received Global Hitachi Research Fellowship, which has given me an opportunity to establish collaborations with Akita University in Japan. I've been also, for my contributions over the past 5 years with the parenting educational programs and the apps I have developed, Ministry of Social and Family Health see me as an advisor, which I feel it is a big honor. And since this year, I've been nominated on their committee as a parenting advisor, resource advisor. And my HPNA app was also mentioned in Minister's speech. And I've been representing Singapore, our only nurse academic representing in Southeast Asia and Europe in nursing and education. It's a closed door special group people who are working on developing curriculum as well as research in nursing. And also I have been invited as a keynote speakers as a plenary speakers at national and international conferences. I've been an editorial board member for JAN, Journal of Advanced Nursing, which is a top tier journal in nursing, as well as PLOS ONE and Journal of Transcultural Nursing. As my fellow regional finalists have mentioned, as a reviewer, which is just a kind of, a job which we do to serve our academic world. And I've been a reviewer for more than 25 journals, and I've been peer reviewing it almost every week. And I've been peer reviewing journals like Medical Education, JMIR, and International Journal for Nursing Studies. If you know, these are the top journals in medicine and nursing. And these are my contributions to my research fraternity. Now I'll be sharing with you how I have been contributing to the public and the stakeholders. Like I mentioned earlier, my educational content has been used as a standard care in maternity units in the restructured hospitals in Singapore. The videos I have developed, they have been commonly used in the waiting areas in the clinics where parents are benefiting from the educational content. And also the educational materials have been available on MSF's Baby Bonus portal. If some of you have an internet now, go Google MSF's Baby Bonus portal and just type Dr. Shefaly series. You will find all my educational content there. And I know many of us probably want to delete COVID-19 from our life this year. But for me, I think COVID-19 has taught me many new ways and new things to remember, that how we can actually reach and help other people. And one of way is how in COVID-19 pandemic, like many other countries, I'm sure, especially women and child health, those who were at low risk or so-called considered in the healthy zone, they were told not to come for their general appointments. You know, those were canceled, especially during the lockdown. And those parents were very stressed, and they were like, they wanted their questions to be answered. And I was approached by MSF and hospitals to run these weekly seminars. And you can see I'm on a Facebook page of MSF Family for Life. And these videos are still available until July. Every Friday night, I was running this 1 hour session with the parents where I was educating them and answering their questions on live. And from August onwards, every last Friday of the month until December, I'll be doing these live sessions at FFL's Facebook page. And for my contributions this year, I've been nominated for National Day Award. And I feel these are my small ways of reaching to the public and stakeholders. And for an academic, I think this is very beautiful. To coming out of your papers and actually reaching to the public. And how I'm helping the budding researchers, all of us, those who are in academic life, honoring and guiding honor students, master students, PhD students. I have currently 2 PhD students graduated. I have 1 postdoc. I have 34 honor students under me who have completed their honors and master students. I didn't put the numbers here, but I want to share with you what is my experience guiding them. I feel these are part of my role to, guide them and all that. This is my role to do that. But what is more important, I feel as an academic, which I feel because I have learned a lot from my role models in my life. And I always wanted that, somebody can guide me this way. And these are some of the ways I have been doing for my younger, younger research staff by being there as a role model. I work very hard. I share with them that being the mother of a teenager, I have ailing parents and parent-in-laws, and I'm a woman. I have a research staff who also, work very hard under me. And if you work as a role model and give them undivided attention and selfless time, and support them in their needs, I feel that they feel equally motivated to contribute because they find a common vision to reach towards the goal. And I will share with you one particular example. I have this girl who did very well during her honors, and she got an undergraduate research award. However, somehow she lost her charm, and she felt that she want to change career. And I felt very bad about this. That why is it happening? To cut the long story short, because we don't have time, I spent a lot of time with her, listening to her what actually went wrong in her life and all that. And this is a letter she has given me, and the end thing is so beautiful that she has been now, given a position to do a PhD under me. She'll be starting in January 2021. And I'm highlighting what she has shared with me that, thank you for being patient with me when, I broke down, and you have given me the words of wisdom. And thank you for believing in me when others didn't. So these are my ways of reaching to the younger people to tell them that, the people like me, if I can do it, they can too. Yeah, so these are my future plans. I've given them with a sign of exclamation because I'm equally excited, because my future plans are with the ASEAN's MDGs, which is focusing on maternal and child health. I would like my educational programs to go beyond Singapore. And I would like them to be actually, translated into Bahasa Indonesia, into Thai, into different languages, so that parents can benefit. Again, parenting is not rocket science. Things have been already evaluated in Singapore. So if we can now translate them and reach to the more parents, especially from those who we can't reach, especially away, those who live away from in the countryside, I feel this is very important for me to now reaching to those needy group of people. And I also want to reach and focus on children health beyond the first year of their life, which I've been done for the past 5 years. I want to look at the obesity and diabetes among chronic conditions like this among children. And I also want to look among working older women. I want to enhance their functional aging. And I've been doing some secondary research like systematic review, understanding menopause and osteoporosis among women, so that I can enhance their working life with my psychosocial education support. And as a global citizen, I would like to take an active role with my collaborators among ASEAN region. Hopefully, I would be like to, able to inspire someone after my presentation, and we can do some collaborations and support women and children from womb to tomb. And I would like to share my experiences to guide, lead, and inspire budding women scientists in STEM community, and most importantly, to bring long due credit to my profession and nursing academics. Just to let you know, a quick one, that this year, WHO has declared for nurses and midwives a year of nursing and midwifery. I feel honored that this year is so special that I'm also part of a finalist, and it's a great honor for my profession. And I feel it's about time people stop asking us why nurses do PhD. So I hope with my work, people will know why nurses do PhD and what kind of research they can do. I would like to thank each and every one of you, especially the US-ASEAN Science Committee organizers, for giving me this honor. And if you can allow me, I would like to end my presentation with John F. Kennedy's quote, which has inspired me in my professional and personal life, which is, "One person can make a difference and everyone should try." What does it mean? We should not wait for the opportunities and awards to make a difference. Every morning when we wake up, we should have that passion in us that I can make a difference. We can never pour from an empty cup. So if I can make a difference in my family member's life, they will be able to make a difference in my neighbor's life, and then to the community, to the society, to the nation, and hopefully to the international and global level. So on that note, I'm not sure if I have time. I have that short video, if I can play, which we have actually developed.
Hello everyone, my name is Shefaly and I'm an academic at National University of Singapore. My research program focuses on enhancing women and child health, and I am specifically keen to use population-focused approach in promoting health outcomes, such as self-efficacy, social support, and mental health, especially depression among women from young age throughout the pregnancy till older age. My previous research has shown that women with subclinical depression, that is those with at risk of getting depression, had as much negative outcomes for their child as does more severe clinical depression. Therefore, I strongly believe that the prevention of depression is one of the main health promoting strategy to ultimately influence maternal, newborn, familial, and societal outcomes. Ultimately, I hope to influence policymakers through my science to mandate necessary support to the mothers and children throughout the ASEAN region. The educational app entitled Home But Not Alone that I developed in my previous research for new parents has gained national and international recognition. In 2017, I was awarded the Outstanding Women in Medical Science Award by the Venice International Women Foundation. For my contributions in supporting new parents, I was also featured as one of the notable women scientists in the Pioneer Women Scientists in STEM series featured in National University of Singapore News. Due to my past work for Singaporean parents, I'm serving as an advisor for needs in Singapore. I have a dream. I wish to nurture future generation healthcare workers and the budding women scientists in science. Through my research and contributions, I wish to showcase to the younger women in science that being a married woman and a mother of a teenager, if I can contribute to research, many of them with right attitude, mentorship, and hard work will be able to contribute to the quality research.
Provided me with many opportunities to hone my research skills and ensure my professional growth, and I'm truly very inspired by her.
By achieving the Esteemed Science Prize 2020, my wish will come true as I will be able to establish successful collaborations with researchers to create awareness about nursing academics from ASEAN region and to showcase the culture of support, teamwork, nurturing, and sisterhood to the women scientists so that we women scientists.
Thank you very much, Dr. Shorey. And also Dr. Chan previously. Both your presentations are very clear, very encouraging, very inspiring. And I just want to inform you that just last week, Ignite, our project, we held a workshop on gender mainstreaming for ASEAN Economic Community. If you kindly
remember Dr. Lanet, this is the last time, diba? Yung kung if this in
yeah, sorry, I was telling you that last week we organized a workshop on gender mainstreaming, and the expert there informed us that in ASEAN, women are underrepresented in many economic sectors, very, very underrepresented. So to me, that simply means that if we are able to tap their potential, their contribution can mean significantly to our growth, our development here in ASEAN. So thank you, Dr. Shefaly and Dr. Chan, again for your really inspiring presentations and your information about how you have encouraged your fellow female scientists and students in your respective areas. Okay, now I would like to, now is the time for question and answer. You can raise your hand electronically by, if you go down, you see the icon participants. If you click that and then click raise hand, we will be able to select who can ask questions. Anyone? Any questions? Pak Siddiq, can you see anyone who has raised hands? Not yet. Not yet. Okay. Anyone? Is there a question? You may also write your question in the chat box if you like. Pak Siddiq, has anyone raised their hands?
No. Yeah, there is Professor Andy Hor from ASTAR Singapore.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes. Professor Andy Hor from Singapore.
Hi.
Please go ahead.
Thank you, Chair, for wonderful sessions. And two of the speakers, I think you have given very good introduction of your work and definitely very impressive. One common question for two of you, and maybe one specific question for each of you as well. Now, both Dr. Chan and Dr. Shorey, maybe you can after your presentation, at this point, let us know quite clearly, if you want to ask yourself 5 years down the road, let's just make it 5 years down the road, both of the candidates, what do you want to achieve in a very concrete term, 5 years down the road, and in a very concrete term that you feel would really make yourself and people happy? Okay, 5 years down the road. And this is my first general question for both of you. My second question to Dr. Chan is that if you look at hand, foot, and mouth disease, which is definitely a very significant problem in the world, and although there are vaccines coming up along the way, and we are still hearing news from time to time, and we also heard from you today, Dr. Chan, and I want you to have a comparison. How is your vaccine development work in terms of progress, in terms of outcome, compared to those emerging news around the world? I want to have a little comparison. For Dr. Shorey, my question to you is that you have really covered a whole broad range of preventive healthcare and medicine, right? And you have also even go into the apps, for example. Okay, maybe let's focus on the apps. Tell me, what are your ambition of the apps? Are you going to expand it further to other apps and other diseases and other problems? Or are you going to refine what you have today and reach out to the wider audience, for example? That's my question to you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Pak Andy. Dr. Chan, please.
All right. Thank you, Prof. Andy. So to answer the first question first, it's what do I see, where do I see myself in 5 years? So I think as I progress through my career, I find that staying in a single discipline, it doesn't help. You know, you need to broaden your horizon in working with others from different disciplines, especially you know, computer scientists, engineers, or even social scientists. I think what is really lacking in you know, biological sciences are actually that collaboration of working together and putting different disciplines to actually make a breakthrough. So that's why I am actually working very hard in putting up grants that we can actually put together different disciplines, such as, you know, like I mentioned, engineers, IT, AI, artificial intelligence, and hoping that with that we will see that, you know, to solve this simple world problem, solve even to understand more about HFMD and also to prevent HFMD, we need all the different disciplines. Okay, so the next question about HFMD, yes, Prof. Andy is very well read. So basically, there's actually a EV vaccine available, but that's only in China, and it is currently not in everywhere in this world. So at the moment, there are also some initiative. For example, I think Singapore has their clinical trial one, and also Taiwan as well. So of course, we know that, you know, what I have done, actually, it's mainly all proof of concept. But I believe that, you know, with our you know, science being disseminated through various channels, like, for example, this ASEAN-U.S. prize, you know, through YouTubes and so on, people can get interested in your science, and that's where you actually have funding and so on. So I am hopeful that, you know, if I have solid science and I have, you know, different ways of putting the vaccine together, because I'm actually looking at, you know, approaches that are slightly different. And so I hope that, you know, my work will be noticed by other people, and then from proof of concept, it will go further down to different clinical trials. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Chan. Dr. Shorey, please.
Thank you, Prof. Andy. It was always a dream to see you. So nice to see you. Prof. Andy, those who don't know, he's one of the luminary in research and education in Singapore. So thank you for your questions, Prof. Andy. To answer your question, 5 years down the road, definitely as far as my students are concerned, they have just completed PhD. So in 5 years down the road, I would like to see my students establish their research programs and coming back as an academics to serve in the university, or being in the clinical areas and contributing in nursing research. So these are for my students. Personally, I have developed psychosocial educational programs, like I said, on women and child health across perinatal period. Coming years, I would like to work on women at the older age, like I say, womb to tomb, to enhance their functional aging. Especially women are now contributing to the economy by working, and the retirement age has been extended in Singapore, and they are wise, they have so much of experience, and I feel that my psychosocial educational programs and my experience so far will be able to support them to have active aging. So that's for women, and also my experience for the younger children beyond 1 year to enhance their active lifestyle, especially obesity and diabetes. The age is getting younger, so I would like to use my experience this far to enhance it to the different age groups, for example, children beyond 1 year. So that's for the next concrete 5 years for myself and for my students. And regarding my app, yes, Prof, thank you very much for asking this question. Like app, I always, when people ask me this question, is app is just a measure or way, or rather I would say it's a delivery method. Educational programs are there. App is just one of the method of reaching to the people. People use face-to-face, people use Zoom, or people use this app. So apps will definitely need constant enhancement as technology is going. One of the way I would like for my apps to so-called be enhanced is I want it to be publicly available. Those who have worked with technology, you know that apps, of course, you need money, you can develop. And when you develop an app, after that, you need to host them somewhere so that it can be used by the public. So I would like in the future to have, for example, to win awards like this, so that I can have, those websites where I can host my app so that they can be used publicly, because they have been already established in my research. So that's for my apps, so-called reaching to the public. Content remains the same, but of course some enhancements will always be there. Like I said, beyond 1 year probably, I'm only working for the children until 1 year. I would like to add more information for the children beyond 1 year. So that's for my educational apps. Thanks, Prof. Andy.
Thank you very much, and thank you, Prof. Andy, for the questions. Anyone else? Okay, now we have a question from Dr. Melfeo from University Santo Tomas, Philippines. It's on the chat box. In your years of mentorship, Dr. Chan and Dr. Shorey, have you had mentees who had become at par or even better than yourself? What did you specifically do to contribute to your success? Maybe Dr. Chan first, please.
Okay, so yes, indeed, I've seen through a lot of students, and I must say, repeatedly in all my work, I say it's team, and it's not just the idea could be initiated from me and from me, but eventually it's always taken up by students, and they are the one who move the science, and they are the one who move the research. So in all my achievement, I think I owe it to all my students, whether in the past or current. And I believe that, like what you mentioned, I have a very typical example, students, it's very hard, if you have very good students, they stay with you for many years, and then after that, they even did postdocs with you, to then leave your lab. I mean, and it's very, it's with a heavy heart you let them to leave your lab because they just have to move on with their career. So that is always what I want to see. They move on with the career and they actually succeed out there. And of course, I have really good examples. Like I have a postdoc went to USAID, and he has Nature paper. He has he did so well. and obviously I have not had my nature paper yet. So I think what we are always in contact, and at the same time, I do envy that some people get opportunity to have nature paper, but it's also a way for me to encourage myself that it is always to have someone that you have mentor to actually succeed more higher, to actually reach a higher heights than you, and I think that's called successful.
Thank you. Thank you. Dr. Shorey?
Hi, Dr. Malfi. Thank you for asking for this beautiful question. In fact, I think this is very nice. I won, and in fact, all my students, even though they are first year into their research journey, I feel all of them are better than me. One example I can tell you is technology. They know things more than me. I have to ask them, like where to press and all that. Do you know, before I present here, I actually rehearse sharing and all that. And we've been teaching Zoom so many times, and I could still get it wrong, So on a serious note, I'm from a healthcare. And in fact, if my students are doing well, I'm very happy because I will be their patients. I'm older than them one day. So I know I'm in a safe hands. So if they're doing a research, they're doing a very good research. That means, my grandchildren, all of us, we're in a very safe hands. We have such an intelligent group of students. So that's one. And yes, honestly, I have few students. I've just put Joelle's quote in my presentation specifically, just in honors year, when I was actually lost what I want to do. She has won a Young Scientist Award, which is one of the prestigious award, and very, very rarely undergraduate students get that award. And I can see bright future in her. And that's the reason I invested so much time in her. When I hear from her that she's feeling lost and all that, I can see she will be an academic. And in fact, anytime I see her, I always tell her my sign off will be, can't wait to see you sitting beside me in my office. So yeah, and for me, I will go all out to support these people, because these are our future academics. These are people who are contributing to our profession. So I go all out to support this group of people. And on a really, really serious note, I think they are our future healthcare providers, because this research is one which is leading our clinical work, and we are in a safe hands if they're doing better than us. They should be doing better than us.
Great, thank you very much. Okay, now we still have time for one more question. I think, Pak Siddiq, is there anyone else raising their hands? No? Not yet. Not yet. Okay, may I invite perhaps Deepa and Sarah? Okay. May I invite Dr. Tim Burer, my boss at the project, Ignite, please. Tim.
Well, I just asked, thank you very much, Pak Bambang. I'd like to just ask a very quick question to both of the panelists, which is, a lot of what we're talking about here is how do we promote women in STEM, broadly in STEM areas within the region? And I guess the question I have for you is, what could ASEAN do to help make it easier or better or whatever adjective we want to use for women to join in STEM careers. So thank you very much. I'd appreciate your views on that.
Yeah, thank you. Dr. Chan, please.
All I can say, my suggestion is to have more different type of this kind of prize, like a US ASEAN prize, for different type of women at different stages of their career. For example, from even students to postgraduate students, undergraduate students, or to more senior or junior women scientists, or in other career path as well. And I think I've seen how I actually benefited from receiving awards and also receiving social media attention. So the more you basically getting an award is just the beginning. And, with one award, for example, 5 years ago, I received my L'Oreal UNESCO Fellowship. And that actually leads me to actually another award, which is the UNESCO Rising Talent. And subsequently, I also get noticed by, different organizations where I actually receive different types of awards as well. So I think we ourselves, I think, should, we should stand out and show that, role model is needed, as I actually illustrated. So, things are very difficult, it's like different newspapers require you to write this and write that. It's a really hard work, but when I noticed, that more and more, for example, in Malaysia, I've seen a lot of my, current L'Oreal UNESCO, winners are actually featured in magazines. They are featured in the newspaper. I'm very glad because I've seen visibility of women in different social media. So I think we should keep this work and keep investing in this kind of prizes because people always ask me, why didn't we have US ASEAN Man Prize? So I think as what everyone has said, they have got enough attention. So I think it's time to promote women. Thank you.
Great, thank you. Yeah, Dr. Shorey, please.
First and foremost, Tim, I think the organizing committee is already doing a beautiful job. The way you have put up on Twitter, the advertisement and all that, you have already created a lot of sensation. I have been receiving messages from my dean, when is this happening and all that stuff. So, thanks for that. You all are already doing a great job. But to specifically answer, I think it is good to showcase people like us, like you said, awards and all that, what my fellow colleague has shared. But I think more than awards, for me, we should have more webinars in the ASEAN region, sharing female STEM scientists, and not just their awards and all that, but their journeys. Because when we share the awards and all that, for many people, it becomes like they're already then unreachable and all that. When you share your journeys, people can relate to you more, especially the young people who are joining you, because many of us are only sharing with our students. But if you talk to ASEAN region webinars, maybe we can do with the university levels, STEM students from university levels, undergraduate and graduate, and sharing with them how we started. And we honest share. Dr. Yoke Fun has her own share of struggles. We didn't just win awards like that. We had 10 rejections before we get one. So all those things, to tell them that this is normal. To reach here, it takes time. It doesn't just come like that, so that people feel it a normal thing. Because when I personally feel, and that's what because I spend a lot of time with my students, and I feel some of them feel it like, I need to be in 1 year, need to be award winner. So sometimes I feel with such platforms, we are sometimes giving a wrong impression. It's good to showcase, but also showcase the journeys. So I would like in ASEAN region, show women scientists, share their journeys. Of course, people want to see a happy end. They want to see Dr. Chan with all her achievements, but also her journey, how she started. So that would be one thing. And also reaching really to the university students, undergraduate and graduate. That would be my answer. Thank you.
Great, thank you. Thank you very much. Okay, I think we have arrived to almost the end of the webinar. If I could share with you my 4 quick takeaways from the discussions. I think first is I think collaboration from Dr. Chan and Dr. Shorey. What I've learned quickly is that collaboration with other disciplines is important, and it is the key to solving current problems. Thinking out of the box, thinking of different approaches, that is also required for us to face the more complex problems that we are having right now. Use of technology in our case, for example, using apps is a very effective way to reach people, to reach our intended recipients or objects. I think that is very useful. And also what you've both stated at the end, passion in doing research in influencing your fellow scientists and students, setting example. I think practicing what you preach is also important. I like the way you say it, share the journey. I think that's very important. Also, and seeing someone who is passionate really can really drive people. Okay, thank you very much for everything. If there are questions that, is there a question from Sarah? All right, sure. Sarah, do you want to say your question? I think we can accommodate one more. Go ahead, please.
Sure, I don't want to keep us too long, but I was very impressed by both presentations, and obviously both of you have received recognition for your work both nationally, regionally, and even internationally. So what drew you to apply for this particular prize? I heard some high grant amount, so it's probably not just the money. So I'm hoping to hear really what's so exciting about this prize and what would winning it mean to you?
Yes, thank you. Dr. Chan, please.
Thanks, Sarah. So why did I apply? So I came across the prize through an email from my dean because it was on preventive healthcare, but I have deep thought about my work. Did it actually fit in? So I was the one bugging the committee, if I do this and this, do I fit into the team and so on? Because I think the ASEAN-U.S. prize is it's always very unique. It's thematic, and applying it, to get the award means that I also felt I wasn't sure my work is good enough to actually to present it as preventive. But as I put a deep thoughts on it, I say, why not give it a try? And of course, I have received award. Really a lot of boosting effect from L'Oreal UNESCO. It actually helps me to really tell myself to really do better. And in the upcoming years, I think award like this is also good booster for the career. So I thought, I need something to boost myself. So why don't try this award? And of course, the second, Sarah, I can't tell you that I really need the money. To me, it's not about, I think, in a little ways, grants are really limited in this part of ASEAN. So getting some grant award, it's really important for our research. It helps us to accelerate, our work. So I have to be honest. The money, of course, is the main driver, but to have the same feel what I felt 5 years ago, I think I was looking for that as well. Thank you.
Great, thank you. Dr. Shorey, please.
Thank you for this question. And it may sound as a cliche, but for me, really the main reason I have applied for, how it reaches to me, it was, I think the emails gone to the same way. I'm not sure where the emails was sent, but it came to me through my dean. And kind of from our deanery, they know who is doing what kind of research. So there was no question that, because we know I am doing preventive healthcare in School of Medicine. So it was just sent to me. So I have applied. So that was very clear. There's no question on that. Then what was my motivation when I read through the criteria? I knew I fit into the criteria. One main reason I have applied for this award, like I said, it may sound as a cliche, it is to get that recognition for my profession, for nursing profession, for nursing academics. That's the main reason, especially in 2020, like I said, it's a year of nurses and midwifery from WHO. Award has come, and I got to know that the award will be declared by this particular time. I remember it showed vividly, if I remember, October, I think it was shown the ceremony will be in Bangkok, and I was like, it's so perfect, and I will be able to put that feather in the hat for my profession, which is long due. That was one of the main reasons, and again, I won't deny that because we do get grant funds, but it's very difficult to use those grant funds outside my country. So the grant funds, I hope if I get from this award, I want to really use it across ASEAN region. I want to use and translate my educational content across ASEAN region with my collaborators. Like I mentioned during my presentation, I want to translate my educational materials into different languages and reach out to the parents who live away from cities. And yeah, these are the main two reasons I have applied for this application this year.
Great, thank you. Thank you, Dr. Shorey. Now, before we end this, I'm going to be very naughty here. My supervisor, Dr. Tim Buehrer, has said to me, I don't want to talk, I don't want to say anything, but I'm going to put him on the spot here. So please, Pak Tim, some few words, closing remarks, perhaps.
Okay, well, thanks for putting me on the spot. I think this has been really very, very useful and a very an interesting hour and a half. It has been good to hear from these people, from the regional finalists on what they're doing and how this, what this means to them. I do think that it encourages all of us who've been putting in a lot of time and effort to make this happen, and I hope that it encourages our colleagues from UL who make this financially possible to really bring together this science prize every year. And we look forward to having the judging very soon. We're going to do that a week from now, and we will be announcing the winner at around that time. And we look forward to doing another webinar of some sort. I like the idea of continuing to highlight women researchers from the region, and we will work with the Secretariat and COSTI to see how we can sort of do that in the future. These things are a little complicated to organize, but I think very important and very effective, and we'll try to continue this. And with that, Pak Bambang, I have said my few words, and I will pass it over to you to close it out.
Okay, great.
Actually,
perhaps maybe I could also just add in.
Go ahead.
Yeah, perhaps I could just add on to what Dr. Tim has said. So we work very closely together with the ASEAN COSTI as well as IGNITE and USAID and Underwriters Laboratories. So I want to say also that over at our side, we also work on getting more such elements out, as well as other types of awards, so that we can reach out to even more people. Probably not just focusing on women, but also men and women. So there's also another one called the ASEAN Korea Award for Science, Technology and Innovation. So all those out there who are looking forward to another award, that will be something that we are actually rolling out at the moment as well. Yeah, but definitely we are also looking at rolling out more of such webinars. So hopefully you will reach out to a lot of you who are doing research. Right.
Great, thank you very much. Thank you, Dr. Tim Buehrer and Dr. Michelle for the closing remarks. Thank you, Deepa and Sarah, for supporting us from Underwriters Laboratories. Thank you, Ibu Desi, USAID, for giving us the guidance. And of course, thank you most importantly to Dr. Shorey and Dr. Chan for the very inspiring, encouraging presentations and sharing of your experience. I wish my wife could see this, but unfortunately she can't. And then I also would like to extend my gratitude to my colleagues at IGNITE, Shidik, Devi, Desi, and of course we work under the guidance of Dr. Tim Buehrer. I also would like to thank all the participants and also particularly Prof. Andy Hor from Singapore and Dr. Mel Fay from the Philippines for the questions. Thank you all for making this webinar a success. We really hope we can learn something from here, important takeaways, lots of them from here. Before we finish, we have this survey. Always when we organize a workshop or a training or what, we have this, is the link here on the chat box? Mas Sidik? So I would like to encourage you all to go to this link, SurveyMonkey, and then provide for us your valuable feedback so that we can improve our work in the future. This is very useful. It is also very important for our evaluation, monitoring, evaluation, and learning process. Thank you. And with that, I think if there is nothing else, I would like to end this webinar. Thank you for your attendance, your active participation. We shall meet again in the next opportunities. Thank you again, and have a pleasant day to all of you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.